one of our big projects has been a food bank that we've run from St. Paul's since the early 80s. And it's growing, obviously, in our communities. So we had an opportunity to meet a lot of these clients that we felt in the city, and due to our location, where there is a lot of poverty in the area, or people, I hate to say hanging around, but we had an opportunity to come in contact with a lot of these people and see their needs, and thought perhaps that maybe we could help them have a safe place to come and just have a coffee. And I think that's maybe how we first initially thought of this project, is perhaps just a safe place for someone to come in and get warm and have a coffee. And because we have the space and our locality is just perfect. And I think it just blossomed from there. And after a phone call I accidentally took at the church one day, it just flew.
And that was a great idea. I thought, because I think that's what, in my mind, is what the church should be doing. We should be doing missional work outside. We should be, bringing those in to the church that need security, need some safety, need just a place to be a decent, feel like they're a decent human being again, and to be in a place that they have no fears to be. So giving, folks a chance to come in, and again, this is very developmental, right? I mean, they're going to come in. This whole thing is going to blossom into something else. We'll start with small steps and move on. Bring them in, give them a place to shower, to wash clothes, to get counseling. Maybe help them find homes or whatever. Whatever the mandate we find is the most needed in the community, and then step out from there and say, okay, this is where we really see a need. Let's go down this lane. And if that lane dries up in a couple of years, then there's another path to follow,
but we need to get back to that mission and take the risk, and be able to step forward and say, we have the space, we have people who are willing to invest time and sweat equity and whatever else we need to make this happen, and allow that to go forward, and take the risk. And like, Frank said, things may dry up down the road in one avenue, and don't fear that. Do not fear that. Learn from those dry shoots, and then rekindle again, because that's what Missional Ministry is all about. It's alive, it's fresh, it's moving with the Spirit, and sometimes we get in the way of all that. There's a great quote that I love. It's like, we humans can cut an apple and see how many seeds are in an apple, but only God can cut the seed and see how many apples in the seed.
Mm-hmm.
I really would like to echo what Terry said about the excitement of the three churches working together, and then beyond. We've done some things together. We sponsored a refugee family and so on, but those are kind of one-off projects. And this is something that really starts a whole new way of working together in the community, that has the potential to continue and to grow and to bring us closer together.
And Eileen and Sherry, I remember, I think it was the first vestry meeting that I chaired while you were in interim time, but my eyes were open to something that was very unique about St. Paul's, and that's that outreach wasn't just a piece, like caring for neighbor and people who are struggling, wasn't just a piece of your overall ministry. It was so vitally and is so vitally important to you as a congregation and as individual Christians. It's in your DNA.
I would say that for me, it's very humbling, just being involved first with the food bank and what they do. And this has been really an extension of that. It's just kind of grown. And I was really excited with the meeting that I had with Tom and his group. They were lovely and so excited about the prospect of what could come with working with Choices for Change. And that I was really inspired by them when I got off of that meeting, because they were also willing to volunteer and what can we do and when is it starting. So it is another way for us, the three churches, to come together.
It was there was about 4 different churches there, and they were all quite willing to go back to their church and ask, you know, whatever we needed. And I said, well, maybe that's a connection that they can help, you know. So in hearing everybody say that about, you know, we can get other churches other than just the Anglican together, and yeah, my heart was full.
And I know Sherry also has been hearing from lots of other folks and churches in terms of support for once we do get them in, right?
Yes. We have some people that are already donating towards it. So it's, you know, great news that they're community people. They're not anybody that's directly related to St. Paul's, and they're hearing about this venture already out in the community. So I think that's great that word's out there, and there'll be some financial support coming in to help us. So
For myself, has been having Steve mentor us about what it means to reach out to the community, really reach out, and just the exercise of going out, walking the neighborhood, getting to know people, asking, you know, getting to know them to the point where you can start to find out what they need, what they're looking for, and finding ways within the gifts and resources we've got to be able to do that. It doesn't have to be a high capital expense or a highly complicated organizational project. It's just getting out and connecting with people.
I think that the pandemic has maybe given us more of an opportunity to look broadly, where we've been very much in the habit of looking closely. So for me, this is very exciting. We enjoy our work in our food bank too, and a lovely experience this last week about a gentleman who had come to our food bank, and he was saying, I just need a shower. I just need somewhere to have a shower. And I said, let me tell you something. It's kind of fun because I'm not usually on the door meeting people as they arrive. Tom usually does that. And I've done that a couple of times, or maybe 3 times recently. So then I'll come up and say, hi, Tom. So I'm not Tom, but and he is very special meeting people. But that was really neat to be able to say, just wait, because things are happening in this community.
yeah, wait 3 months to shower.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Well, we do have people who are living rough who come for food bank, and I'm telling you, it makes you realize that there are so many things that we don't see or haven't seen or not allowed ourselves to see that need addressing. And I think that's really special. And as far as people being involved from other, you know, we that at St. James, there's been an annual Christmas dinner in the before times. And many of the people who come to help with that dinner have no affiliation with St. James as a parish. And they may not even be considered active Christians as far as they're concerned, but they are.
Well, thank you, St. Paul, St. Stephen's, and St. James Stratford for your shared ministry through this missional ministry team, and building relationships with your neighbors in those 3 parts of Stratford, I think, are going to serve the city well and serve God's kingdom well. And I can tell from your voices and your faces that it's definitely making a difference for you. So thank you for your compassion and your enthusiasm for people and hope. We have to have hope, and we often get that because someone has cared.